sauce so yummy. No, you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy.
Good morning, ASI. How's everybody feeling this morning? Oh, thank God you answered. So I have a question for you. We're going to talk about how to make you and your company irresistible, right? What makes something irresistible? Energy and attraction. So let me ask you this question. Who woke up this morning and made the decision that this was going to be your best day ever? Seriously, raise your hand if you woke up and decided, thank you all of you in the back, for deciding that. If you didn't, let me ask you, why not? Seriously, if we only have today, and if we have an option to have a great day, a good day, or an okay day, why would we not choose to make this the best day ever? Now, this is not one of those motivational rah-rah programs, I promise. But I'm trying to figure out, when I was doing research on what makes something irresistible, the number one answer is the energy and the emotion behind it. So who's showing up with the energy and the emotion of this is gonna be the best day ever? So let's all land in the room for a minute and see if we can refocus to that. By the way, since you've already gotten your 10,000 steps in from walking to whatever hotel you're at to here, since we already got our cardio in, let's actually start by landing in the room. So do you know how you land in the room with a whole bunch of people, especially a whole bunch of people that you don't know? What you do is you take a really deep breath. Because most of us forget to breathe. Do you know that? Most humans, we're breathing from here up. Do you know that your lungs move in 6 different directions? They do. They move side to side, front to back, and top to bottom. Most of us Americans right now are breathing with the top third of our lungs. So how can we have energy to make ourselves and our companies irresistible if we're not getting the universal energy that's supposed to happen in our bodies? So we're just going to take a minute and arrive in the room. So here's how we do that. Everybody take a really deep breath in through your nose if you can. Hold it and breathe out. Get rid of all of it. Shh. Get rid of all the stale air. All of it, all of it, all of it. Keep breathing out. Now inhale. And exhale. And one more, breathe in. This time at the top, say to yourself, thank you, I'm so glad I'm here. And now breathe out. Do you know what that does? That literally creates community in the room. Because I believe, having spent time with all of you guys, not only a lot of you yesterday in the education session, but in the promotional products industry, playing and working with you all for the past 6 years, what I've learned is that the genius is in the room. You all are going to spend today on the show floor with people who have spent their lives, and especially the past year, creating new products and new ideas and new resources for you to give and share with your clients. And how do we do that? We be appreciative and we show up being fully present in the room. So while we're present in the room, by the way, anybody change their mind and decide right now that today's going to be the best day ever? Just make the decision. If you haven't, raise your hand anyway, and we're going to fake it. We're going to fake it. You know, you've heard fake it till you make it. Best day ever happens that way. Now, I'm going to show you a bunch of images, and I want each of you to look at these images and say, okay, are there any of these that I find, or which one of these do I find irresistible? Because irresistible is personal. So here I am trying to do a talk with you guys and share information with you to talk about how to make your company irresistible, but how do we do that if irresistible is personal? So how we do that is we figure out what makes something irresistible to our clients. Maybe it's the niche that our client is in. Maybe it's the climate that your client is in. Maybe it's the regional area that your client is in, that there's a reason that people live where they live, right? So maybe it's something about where they live, but you want to ask them and find out. The other thing that makes something irresistible is there's going to be an emotional or memory attachment to it. So Everybody remember being 8 years old? Anybody remember being 8? Anybody remember sitting for a class photo like that? Well, I do. That was me at 8 years old. And when I was 8 years old, I loved Jolly Rancher candies. Do y'all remember Jolly Rancher candies? I loved the Jolly Rancher stick candies. And I had such a passion for the green apple ones and the watermelon ones, right? Do you guys remember those? And I used to walk up, I was 8 years old, with my best friend who lived 2 houses down, and we would walk up to a store called Richdale, which is like a, little convenience store that was like a good 10-minute walk away, and our parents would let us do that because it was safe at that point. I didn't have a leash or a helmet. It was amazing. And we walked to the convenience store, and I would take my allowance, and I would spend 10 cents, and I would buy either the green apple or the watermelon Jolly Rancher sticks. So I got home from school one day, and I thought, I want to tell the Jolly Rancher people how much I love them. So I went to the library, remember having to do that? And I looked up where Jolly Rancher Candies was based, and it turns out it was in Wheat Ridge, Colorado, which, by the way, happens to be 30 minutes from where I live now. I'm not sure that's a coincidence, but it might be. So I wrote the Jolly Rancher people in my little 8-year-old writing a letter, and I said, "Dear Jolly Ranchers, I really love your sticks candy. They make me really happy. Thank you for making them." And I put my address on it, and my mom helped me mail that letter. We went to the post office, and I mailed that letter to the Jolly Rancher Candy Company. About a week later, I get home from school, and there's a box at my house that came from me. Now, I had never gotten a box in the mail before. And I got a box, and I opened it up, and inside was a whole big, bulk box of Jolly Rancher stick candies. And I read the note, and it said, "Dear Carolyn, thank you for loving what we do. Please enjoy these and share them with your friends. Love, the Jolly Rancher Candy Company." I have to tell you that I cannot walk by Jolly Rancher candies in the grocery store without actually smiling and having a good feeling about it. So because of that, I brought you all some Jolly Rancher candies. They are on your table, and if you want to share them, and I fear after we're done here, if you don't have the flavor that you want on your table, this is a good time to use your negotiating skills and find somebody else and trade for the ones that you want. Okay? So, what are you doing to create that kind of an emotional connection with your customers and your clients? Now, here's the thing. You guys have the ultimate opportunity. I believe that this is the business that you're in, right? What Jolly Rancher did is they created a community with me, for me, with me and my friends, my little friends, right? What you guys have the opportunity to do is find out what your clients want, the emotion that you want them for their customers to have, right? Because I really believe you guys are the Yoda of your business. You guys are the middleman of your business, right? You find the right products for the right customers so that they can create communication and a tribe, yes? So that's what we're going to look at now. So I can't help you specifically just make you and your company irresistible, but I can give you the 5 F's that we can go through that will actually help you in finding out what makes you and your company irresistible. Got it? So let's talk about the first F. The first F is fundamentals. The fundamentals of running a business, the fundamentals of having a business and a reputation and a marketplace. So let me ask you this. Who here, now I know that there's ESP Plus happening here at ASI, has that available for you? ASI has incredible resources to help you all build a website. Do you know how much money I spent on my first website when I did my first, I mean, it was tens of thousands of dollars back in the day. ASI can actually help you create a website. So when was the last time that you updated your website to differentiate your offer? Let's say, let me ask, who did it in the past 6 months? Excellent, excellent, excellent. Who did it in the past year? Raise your hand if you've done it in the past year. Great. If it's 2 years or more since you've updated your website, raise your hand. Okay, for those of you with your hands up, you're late. You guys are late. Do you know that now, if you're not updating your bios on your website and your website every 6 months, you're late? And I know it sounds like a lot of work, but there's a lot of help in helping you do that, okay? The fundamentals are also know your offer. Exactly who do you serve? So on the Home Shopping Network, right? The question was, what do you do, who do you do it for, and why do they care? Those are the 3 questions I want you to be thinking about right now. What do you do? So on Home Shopping, we made easy wear, easy care clothing. Who do you do it for? For busy women. What woman isn't busy? But, you know, we all think that we're busy, right? Easy wear, easy care clothing for busy women. Why do they care? So that after they get dressed in the morning, they don't have to think about themselves anymore. So what is it that you do? What do you do? Who do you do it for? Why do they care? And I've added one more recently to this, because you've got to keep updating. Why you? Why are you the one that people want to come to? Why do people buy clothing from me, right? I made pull-on polyester pants, y'all. Let's be real, okay? Pull-on polyester tops, pull-on polyester pants. That's what I did. But for 18 years, people shopped with us. Why? Because it was the 3-pronged stool, which I'm also now going to give you. Product, pricing, and presentation. So are you clear what your product does for people? Are you clear about your pricing? And I know that that's a weird conversation for me to have from here, from being on the stage, but who here goes into meetings and says, oh, I'll adjust the price depending on what they're looking for? Anybody do that? Anybody do that? Don't, okay? I want you to, you don't have to give somebody a specific price, but I want you to give a parameter, because has anybody ever gone shopping and you go into a store and you pick up something that you might really want to buy, and yet it doesn't have a price tag on it? What do? You put it down and you walk away, because people need to know if it's in their range. That's the other thing. We're living in ranges now, not in absolutes, in everything we do. Everything's in a range, okay? Dates are in a range. I can have it to you in 1 day. It'll come between 1 and 3 days. Even Amazon Prime is now not next day delivery all the time, right? Because the world that we're living in has changed. So the fundamentals are, what are the products that you offer? In fact, I was at the Lunch and Learn yesterday. I was kind of standing in the back listening, and I know some of you guys do just drinkware. I think that's fabulous, because when I see a mug that has a logo on it, I pay attention to that mug and that logo. Everybody does. So just offering that, not offering mugs and keychains and t-shirts, I think is a really smart idea. What's your product? What's your pricing range, right? And then what is your presentation? Who are you as a company and as an organization that you are the people that they can trust? Right now, every human being is way too busy. How many of us are really noticing that there is some disruption every week? Raise your hand if you've noticed that personal, professional, global, political, financial, right? Thank you. Everybody is feeling that. Matthew mentioned in the introduction that I've studied reinvention. By the way, if you guys want to learn something unbelievable about like what's happening in the world, go to reinventionacademy.com. It's who I've been studying with for the past year, like the smartest information I've ever studied, right? But what we've learned is that the level of disruption that every business is going through right now, and that we're all going through as humans, has increased, you're not gonna believe this, 178% since 2019. I know that sounds like a big number. What does that mean? If there were 10 disruptions in a year, right? Fairly big disruptions for a company in a year in 2019. In 2024, there are 28 disruptions, which means one every other week. Are you noticing that? Right? You can go to the gym, come home, and the world is different. I mean, it's insane how things are going. So I want you guys to be crystal clear. I want you to be in business in 5 years. That's my goal for everybody in this room, is that you all have a business and are in business in the next 5 years. But one of the ways you do that is to be adaptable and be really clear who you serve. So I found this, one of our ASI member websites, and I was looking through your sites, and I found this one. And what I highlighted, what I noticed, is that they work to benefit the planet. So that I know if I'm looking for a sustainable product, if I'm a customer and I'm looking for something sustainable, this company is going to put their focus and attention on being sustainable. The other thing I saw there is they are a women-owned company. So I, as a woman, may want to gravitate to a company and support a woman-owned business. I might not. All right? So those are basically the fundamentals. There are 2 microphones here, and yes, they're live. So those of you whispering at the front table, I'll hear you, so whisper loud, okay? But they are live. If you guys have any questions after I get through one of the F's, or we can wait till towards the end and I'll answer anything you want. But this is kind of an overview of the 5 F's. So here we go. Future pacing. This is the second F. Do y'all know what future pacing is? Have you heard of it? Great. Future pacing is the idea that you take someone into a future that they can imagine being better than where they are now. So let me do this with you right now. I'm going to future pace you all. Again, take a deep breath, close your eyes, and it is tomorrow afternoon. It is Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock. And you have now spent the last 2 days on the beautiful, interesting floor at the ASI Show. Okay? What did you get? What did you find? And what are you going home with that makes you the choice of who to do business with? Spend a minute thinking about that, because if we don't, you can open your eyes now and take a breath. If you don't think about that, future pace that, how many of you have been to a show like this before? I didn't see because I was in the back. Raise your hand. And you've gone home and you've gotten good ideas. Have you done anything with them? One of the ways to actually do something with it is to plan for it. So future pacing helps you plan for what's coming next. The words to use for future pacing with your clients, the most important word is imagine. I want you to just have it be part of your vocabulary, so you can actually say to a client, imagine your customers walking around wearing the t-shirt that has your brand new logo on it, and how many of your customers, A, are going to wear the product that we give them, but also are going to feel connected to each other. I think I mentioned to some of you, I went to Emerson College in Boston, and when I walk around the world and I see somebody with an Emerson sweatshirt or an Emerson backpack, I think I have a connection with this person. These are my people, this is my tribe. So that is what you're creating with your products. You're creating a tribe. So the word imagine, and the other one, if imagine's a little too foo-foo-y for you, you can use the words picture this. It's 3 months from now. You have given away the 1,000 mugs that we provided for you, that we sold to you, and you see people all over your town drinking coffee from your coffee shop in your mug and having conversations with each other. What a gift. And what that does is it gets people out of their everyday head. Most of us are not having enough fun. By the way, fun is the 5th F. I'm giving you a little preview. We're not having enough fun. We're not just bringing enough joy to what we do. So future pacing allows your client to think about how fun it will be. I want to share about how powerful future pacing actually is. So when my dad was 60, he's passed now, but when my dad was 60, he was in a lawsuit. My dad ran one of the oldest operating leather tanneries in the United States. I grew up in Strauss Tanning in Peabody, Massachusetts, and that was my family business. And it was my grandfather's business and his father's business. So my dad took it over. And we had to close the business in the early 80s because of the EPA and all kinds of challenges. Well, somebody bought the property where the factory was, which happened to be next door to my dad's house. And they tore the factory down, but they started to dig up the dirt where the factory was, and they said leave it alone because there was chromium in the ground. Long story, right? Chromium in the ground, and my dad got sued by the people who bought the property for millions of dollars. I'm not talking a little bit, I'm talking about millions of dollars. And my dad's sitting there in his house next to the property that he has spent his lifeblood saving and working in, and now he's getting sued for millions of dollars. So he was 60. And I came to him, I'll never forget, it was his 60th birthday, and I had studied future pacing. And I sat with him and I said, okay, Dad, I said, close your eyes. Imagine now that it's 5 years from now and this is your 65th birthday. I want you to imagine that we're here. It's your 65th birthday. How did you get through this lawsuit? How did you get through it? And he took a deep breath and he said, I didn't make it. What? So there I am, my heart falls to the floor. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is the person that means most to me. What do I do? And I took a deep breath, centered myself, and I said, but obviously you did, Dad, because you're 65, you're here, you made it. Let's literally backtrack how you got through it. Turns out, he did make it to 65. He made it to 80. And that lawsuit became so minimal. It almost went away because he could imagine having gotten through it. That's how powerful future pacing can be. So if you use it smart and you get your clients to imagine what their customers are gonna feel, again, remember, irresistible is emotional, that you can get them to know what their customers are gonna feel, you win. Now remember I said, imagine having t-shirts and imagine having things that actually create connection. Who here suffers from FOMO? Anybody? I'm always suffering from FOMO. By the way, thank you for being here this morning because you've made a choice. You know, here's the hard part about being human. We can only be one place at one time until you learn to astral project. And if anybody knows how to do that, please come talk to me after because I would love to know. But we can only be in one place at one time. So if that's true, how do we create that sense of FOMO, the fear of missing out, for our clients? Home shopping is brilliant at it. I'm actually going to show you a quick example of how we created FOMO with one of our products.
I love HSN because we get to bring you things here that you will never find in a store anywhere. Think about it. There are 500 of these on the planet. There are only 500 people on the whole planet between the 4 colorways that are going to be able to get this fabulous basic Carolyn Strauss tank top in the 4 colors and then the jacket. Now notice, when I do this, you don't see the detail at all. Can you see that? If I roll it back, you see nothing. You see this great elongated jacket. However, the second I move or I do this, look at what's going on. Look at what we've actually done.
So how did I create FOMO there? Right? There are only 500 of these. Only 500, which, by the way, okay, who here has actually spent any time watching, you could admit it, even if you're men, who here has spent any time watching HSN or QVC or the Jewelry Channel or anything? Raise your hand, raise it high, be proud. First of all, thank you, yay. If you have not, please put it on your to-do list to look at what the schedule is on HSN or QVC and find something that you might be interested in buying, because obviously if your customers are working with you, they might be interested in buying what you have, right? So, but watch, find a show on HSN or QVC that you might like and watch it. Nobody does sales better than HSN. They create FOMO. So, FOMO meaning there's only 500 of these left. There's only 125 of them in black. It works so great. This is what it can do for you. And if you miss out on this, it's never coming back. Now, I know that's a little harder to do for you all, right? Because you have access to most of the products most of the time. But how do you create FOMO? Any ideas? Anybody have a brilliant idea on how you would use FOMO in your business? If you want to jump up to the microphone, you want to stand up? Come on, it's good for you. Stand up. Get a few more steps. Come over to the microphone. Come on. Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause for being the first. Thank you. Who are you?
My name is Tony.
And what company are you with?
Wildman Business Group.
See, Wildman Business Group. So you guys look him up on LinkedIn and connect and say, hey, I heard you speak at the ASI Show. We should connect. This is how we make friends. But people always say to me, how do you make friends as a grown-up? This is how you do it. So how would you use FOMO in your business?
You just create a sense of urgency.
How do you do that? What would you say to me to create a sense of urgency? Imagine we're working together. What would you do?
You know, it's one of those, this is limited product. There's limited availability. You know, we're running a current promotion. That's just one of the few tactics, I guess, that would be the way to do it.
Current promotions are brilliant. HSN has today's specials, right? Only today, this outfit's gonna be $49. After today, it's gonna go up to $60. Don't you wanna buy it while it's on promotion? Do you create your promotions, or do your companies promote them, or do your vendors promote them?
It comes from marketing.
It comes from marketing. Fantastic. Let me ask you one more question. This is research for me. Does your marketing team and your sales team talk to each other?
Not all
What?
that great. I wish I could say, but not all that great.
Who is that comment for, that the marketing team and the sales team don't talk to each other? Please raise your hand if that's common.
Oh, come on, there's got to be more than that.
Wow, you guys, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. We appreciate it. Thanks. Thank you. Seriously, I spoke for the Minneapolis Marketing Association. And I asked them how often, as marketers, they met with their sales teams. And they said, oh, we don't meet with them. And I said, then how do you know what the salespeople are hearing from their customers if you're not having meetings with them? If you've raised your hand where your sales team and your marketing team do not meet, please set up a Zoom. You may not be all in the same area. Fine. If you are, buy coffee. Get donuts. Get an apple and a donut and bring the team together. Okay, so you have something for everybody. And get your marketing team so that you can see why they're doing what they're doing. Who here has had marketing materials that don't apply to you at all? Anybody? Like, that is just silly. Okay, I'm off my soapbox now. Another way that I was thinking that you guys can use FOMO, we'll come back to that. Another way that I was thinking you can use FOMO is Christmas only happens once a year. Mother's Day only happens once a year. 4th of July only happens once a year. And if you get people to get excited about something that they, again, not just a holiday, but that they can create community around, then you can actually use the holiday as an opportunity to create FOMO. Got it? Any other thoughts on FOMO? Because FOMO's a big one. Yeah, stand. Thank you. Thank you for playing.
Places like PCNA, Leads, they always have clearance and closeouts.
Great.
Promote those.
Promote clearance, fabulous. Everybody wants a deal. Especially now when people are worried and concerned that they're maybe spending too much. Actually, people are not worried and concerned. That's brilliant. People are not worried and concerned that they're spending too much. They're worried and concerned that they're going to be wrong. They're worried and concerned that they're going to make a mistake. Do not let your customers, your clients, fall into the trap that if I buy this, there's nothing I can do about it going forward. Make it easy to do business with you and make it safe to do business with you. And what you can say is, look, I only have so much space for clients in my calendar. What's most rare for you? What's most scarce? Your time, right? So you can say, I want to give 1-hour consultations to the clients that want them the most. And there are only 10 of them this month. Would you like that? You can actually create FOMO around your brilliance and around your creativity. Got it? And if something's on clearance, let them know that they're getting a deal. HSN QVC do that better than anybody, knowing that it's on clearance right now and there are only 30 of them left. And by the way, when HSN and QVC say that there are only 30 of them left, they actually mean it because they are governed not just by the Federal Trade Commission, but the Federal Communication Commission. Do you know that there are lawyers sitting up in offices? I got beeped like 3 times. I'm so proud of myself. 3 times on HSN, I got beeped because I said something that the lawyers deemed not okay. Do you want to know what one of them were? I sang the Partridge Family song. Come on now, there's a song to be singing. Come on, get happy, right? So I sang that song on TV. Apparently they didn't have a license for it, so I got beeped for that. So I didn't do anything really horrible, but I was very proud of myself getting beeped. Okay, so create some FOMO. Next F. Next F. People are going to talk about you and your products. Do you want them to talk about you to you, or do you want them to talk about you to the world? Do you have a place to offer your customers the opportunity to give you feedback? You have feedback forms, thank you, on your table. Feedback is so important because otherwise the marketing people are working without the salespeople. It's the same conversation we just had. So you do have feedback forms. Those will help ASI decide who to bring to next year. You've got a great keynote happening tomorrow. Ramon Ray is a friend of mine. We're both CSPs from the National Speaker Association. CSP is a certified speaking professional. He's great. So ASI brought him because of feedback you gave. And by the way, if you don't like this, my name is Debbie, and it was nice to meet you. But we want to make sure that we give our clients the opportunity to give us feedback. It's a beautiful way to continue the conversation. So say to them, look, I'm going to send you, it's not a survey, it's a love note. What if after somebody does business with you, you actually send them a love note, not that personal, a love note saying, we love doing business with you. Thank you. How did you like what we did before? And what would you like us to do next? So feedback is super important. And testimonials. Feedback falls under testimonials. For those of you guys who were in my education sessions yesterday, and there's actually going to be an opportunity to do that again today, to give testimonial or feedback, because how can other people trust that it is safe to do business with you and know that it's easy to do business with you without somebody like them telling them? Does your LinkedIn, first of all, if you have not updated your LinkedIn in the past 6 months, you're going to go do that now. You're going to do that literally while you're standing waiting to get onto the expo floor. Please update your LinkedIn with something interesting. And by the way, you want something interesting to update your LinkedIn on? Where did you spend your morning? Right? And I have a friend, a millennial. She's great. And she says that, love y'all, she says that if you don't document it, it didn't happen. Who here has been taking pictures of your table right now, of each other, of yes, thank you, and of like the signs around, and of dinners that you're having, and when you're sitting with somebody at lunch, post it, tag them so that people know that you are at the top of your game. The song we played when I was walking out was the Level Up song. How do you level up? You learn more, which is what you're doing here. You get new ideas, which is what you're doing on the show floor. And you level up by meeting other people who know what you don't know. Okay? So get testimonials from your clients and get pictures of everything. I have a really cool idea for you guys. While you're on the expo floor, do you have a vendor? Everybody have one vendor at least that you have an idea that you want to meet or talk to, or one supplier that you're like, I really want to do business with them, or I've heard about them and I want to do something with them? Everybody have somebody? That's the booth you go to and take a selfie. Take a selfie at their booth and then promote their business on your LinkedIn. Tag them. You want to get a good deal? That's how you do it. Does that make sense? Are you guys using the opportunities to create feedback and testimonials that will actually bring you more attention? So by bringing other people attention, it brings you attention, and they are so going to appreciate. You don't think that if you tag them on LinkedIn that they're going to want to do business with you and give you the first opportunity to get what comes next? Absolutely. So use this opportunity for your socials, for your testimonials, and ask your clients for feedback. So, coming down the home stretch. The fifth F is fun. Fun is irresistible. Fun is what creates a memory that you want to do again and again and again. People will come up to you and say, so what do you do for fun? It's not what you do with your free time. It's not, okay? What's fun is what helps you light up from inside. What lights you up? What do you do? Like when I see a green Jolly Rancher candy, which I thought I had in my pocket, when I see a green Jolly Rancher candy, that's fun for me because it lights me up from inside. So what is it that's fun for you, that lights you up from the inside? And then think about it before you go on a sales call. Bring that light that you are into a sales call. We talked yesterday in the education session. Do you know that 63% of adults in the United States say that they're lonely? You making a phone call or setting up a Zoom meeting, or please, even better, showing up, another idea, showing up wearing a shirt with their logo on it. When I send people cookies to thank them for hiring me, I don't send them cookies with my face on them. I send them cookies with their logo on them. So they're like, oh my gosh, she knows us, she knows our business, and she appreciates doing business with us. You are in the business of samples. Get a sample of something that you know that would be absolutely right for that client and bring it with their logo on it. That is fun, and I guarantee that the other people in your industry who are not here who are going after your customers right now, because I'm guessing you're going after theirs, are not creating that kind of loyalty, that kind of fun, that kind of a bond. The other thing I want to invite you to do today, while you're out playing on the floor, find the most fun, the most outrageous, the most interesting product, and start playing with it. We as humans connect through play. We did when we were 8, when we were in the 2nd grade, or we also do it now. So what can you do that brings more fun into your world? Let's review. The 5 F's that can help make you and your company irresistible. And again, irresistible is personal, so you're going to have to play with these and play with how you approach each of your customers. And I use the word play intentionally, because you are in the funnest business you're in the toy business is really what you are, in my opinion. It's toys, it's fun, it creates connection, it creates fun, it creates joy. That's what you guys are all about. So while you're on the floor out there, I want you to find what products will create joy and energy and happiness to your clients. Think about your specific clients or your specific niche, and look at what will bring them, what will make them giggle, what will make them laugh, what will make them go, oh, have you ever gotten something you're like, oh my gosh, I have to show this to everybody in my family? That's where I want you to focus a little bit of your attention today, okay? Here are the 5 F's again. The fundamentals, the basics of doing business, the updating of your website, the updating of your bio. Future pacing, use the word imagine and use the words picture this. It's tomorrow afternoon. What's the funnest thing you found? Okay? Next, FOMO. Make it so that they don't say, I'll decide later. Anybody ever have that? It's like, let me think about it. Let me think about it means one of 2 things. Either you didn't make it safe enough for them to do business with you, or you didn't answer the actual question that they had. So if somebody says, let me think about it, say, that's interesting. I usually find that when one of my clients says, let me think about it, it's because I missed something. Did I miss something? What do you need to think about? Because I find that objection one of the hardest ones to deal with. So just put it on you and say, you know what? I totally appreciate that, but I find, saying it again because people have this objection all the time, I find that when somebody wants to think about it, it's because I've missed something. Did I miss something? Oh my gosh, you guys, if that doesn't close more sales for you, I'll be shocked, okay? Next, feedback. Give your customers a way to give you feedback and not the world. And say to them, look, I'm going to send you a love note. They're going to love that. Nobody does that, right? Who does that? Let's be different. I'm going to send you a love note, how much we love doing business with you. Please let us know what you loved about this and what you'd love to do next. And then finally, fun. Have some fun with it. Now, do you want one more? You want one more? Yeah? Okay, cool. We got one more for you. And this one is the one that I find most people, including myself, miss. Follow up. What is your plan for follow-up? What's your plan? When you're done with an order, after you've shipped it, even after you've sent the love note, what is your plan to follow up with them? Now, I'm sharing this with you because I do a program called Working Genius. It was created by Patrick Lencioni a couple of years ago. It is a brilliant team-building program that I do with corporations. I did it with a steel welding company. I did it with a phone case company in Atlanta, huge companies. And I needed something to follow up with my clients afterwards to say thank you for playing. So I reached out to our friend Cliff Quixell. Everybody knows Cliff. I reached out to our friend and I said, hey Cliff, I had a graphic designer design. Anybody know what this turns into? A cube, exactly. It's a box. It's a 6-sided box with all of the geniuses on it, what the different ones are, and then my little logo, which hopefully goes on the bottom, right? And this you fold up and it turns into a box. And I thought, what can I do that's interesting and different and anchor the message for them? So Cliff and one of his companies helped me design and create and is manufacturing for me this amazing box that I'm going to send to all of my clients as a thank you. So what are you doing as your follow-up? And by the way, there are probably 1,000 working genius facilitators, certified facilitators in the world, in the country. Not one of them has that box because I designed it. So they can hire some other working genius facilitator if they want, but they're not going to get what I can provide. For you, they can hire and work with another promo product company, distributor, but they can't get what you can do. So please demonstrate who you are, what you can do, and then follow up. Coming this morning. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you to the Cohn family. Thank you, Norman. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you to the whole company, and for all of you. Go out, have an amazing day on the exhibit floor. Play. Matthew's coming back up. Don't split yet. Go out, play, and take lots and lots of pictures of yourself and everybody else. And I will see you all at the House of Blues this evening. Thank you so much.